Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video where today we'll be talking about cluster ballooning, an extreme and exhilarating form of ballooning, which involves harnessing a balloonist to a cluster of helium-inflated rubber balloons. It stands in contrast to traditional hot air balloons, where a single, large balloon with vents enables altitude control. In cluster ballooning, numerous small, individually sealed balloons are used to control the flight. Whether it's to stop a climb or initiate a descent, the pilot incrementally jettisons or deflates balloons. A ballast, such as bottled water, can also be jettisoned to facilitate descent. Notable flights and balloonists in the history of cluster ballooning shed light on the pioneering spirit of individuals seeking to explore the skies in unconventional ways. The origins of this crazy hobby can be traced back to a Swiss adventurer, Auguste Piccard, who first experimented with a cluster balloon flight in July of 1937 in Minnesota. Not long after, following in his footsteps, an American photographer inspired by Piccard utilized 32 weather balloons in September of the same year for an aerial film footage near Old Orchard Beach in Maine. However, this endeavor took an unexpected turn as he started climbing uncontrollably. Luckily for him, however, a clergyman named Father James Mullen saw the unfolding drama and came to the rescue. After a chase of some 13 miles or 21 kilometers, the father took a .22 caliber rifle and shot out 3 of the balloons, thus allowing the photographer to slowly return to safety to the ground. Although these are all interesting tales, in today's video we will be focusing on the story of Antonio de Carli, famously known as Padre de Baloa, which roughly translates to balloon priest in Portuguese. He was a passionate Brazilian Catholic priest and an experienced skydiver, born on February 8, 1967, in Perilous, Brazil. His lifelong passion in religion culminated in a dream to raise funds for a spiritual rest area for truck drivers in Brazil. In order to do this, he set a goal to break the cluster ballooning flight time record. He envisioned the support for his project would come flooding in after he beat the 19-hour flight record and claimed a new world record. He believed he'd be able to do this because he'd previously completed a successful 4-hour flight from Paraná, Brazil to San Antonio in Argentina in January of 2008. For this trip, he had used 600 balloons and reached an altitude of 5,300 meters, or roughly 17,400 feet. To prepare for this next daring journey, Father de Carli donned a helmet, waterproof coveralls, and an aluminum thermal flight suit. He was also equipped with a parachute and at least 5 days of food and drinking water, a GPS tracker, and radio to maintain communication with air traffic control. On April 20th, 2008, he set off in a chair attached to 1,000 balloons. As he ascended to an impressive altitude of 6,000 meters, or 19,700 feet, he cruised into the night. This was until he lost contact with the military police when he was about 16 miles from the islands of Tamborete off the coast of San Francisco do Sul in Brazil. The priest then called from his cell phone to request help determining his coordinates and asked for help to contact the authorities. Challenges with his GPS device and adverse winds led to a loss of height, ultimately resulting in his disappearance and leaving the community in distress. Days turned into weeks, and hopes of finding Father de Carli alive dwindled. 2 days after his departure, multicolored balloons were spotted in the sea off Brazil's southeast coast, deepening the mystery surrounding his vanishing. Months later, the lower half of a human body was found floating near Macui by tugboat workers, confirming their worst fears. Through DNA testing, the body was confirmed to be that of the missing priest, allowing a proper burial and bringing some closure to his grieving family and community. It is believed that the unexpected winds had blown the priest off course, and his lack of knowledge with his GPS system led to the catastrophe. Father de Carli's audacious and compassionate venture will always be remembered as embodying the spirit of courage and the desire to contribute to the welfare of others. Following this tragic accident, many attempts were made to break the record. Today, it's held by the famous magician David Blaine. On September 2, 2020, he achieved an astounding feat in cluster ballooning, reaching an altitude of 24,900 feet. or 7,600 meters, using 52 helium-filled balloons. He was suspended by a harness attached to a cable through his sleeve, creating the illusion of holding the balloons by one hand. By doing so, he showcased the potential and thrill of this extreme sport. Blaine released himself from the balloon and free fell until his parachute automatically opened at 7,000 feet, or 2,100 meters. The balloon rig was then remotely piloted to safety by the ground team, making a remarkable achievement in the realm of cluster ballooning. Thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing, and hopefully we will see you in the next one.